us discuss the concept of culture before we discuss the various aspects and dimensions of political culture in the upcoming sessions. Let us have some in-depth understanding of various aspects of the word and term of culture. So, this discussion is based on a reading which is authored by Michael Minkoff and Geert Hofstede. And cross cultural analysis, the science and art of comparing the world's modern societies and their cultures. This is the book, and we are discussing its first chapter of this book. It is published by Sage and was published in 2013. So let us first try to understand meaning of the word culture, meaning of the word culture, and definitions of the concept. So the Latin word is cultura. Cultura. It comes from the verb colo. Colo. What does colo mean? Colo means to tend, to cultivate, to till. Okay, to till the lands, to till the fields. When colo takes the word ager, A-G-E-R, ager, it means field. Ager means field. It becomes agricultura. Agricultura. So agricultura means field tilling, tilling the fields. So when Colo takes the word animus, A-N-I-M-U-S, animus. Animus means character. It means to cultivate the human character. To cultivate the human character. So, culture can be linked with education and refinement. And the word culture has a clear origin. But in anthropology, things are more complex. There are many different definitions of culture. Some definitions are very complex, some others are very simple. A well-known definition was given by Cluckon in 1951. No, just listen to the complex definition. I will explain it further. Culture consists in patterned ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting, acquired and transmitted mainly by symbols, constituting the distinctive achievements of human groups, including their embodiments in artifacts. The essential core of culture consists of traditional, in other words, historically derived and selected ideas, and especially their attached values. So it's a complex definition. It's an example of a complex definition of culture. So let us explain it. This definition says, culture is about common ways of thinking, feeling, and reacting. People learn it and share it mainly through symbols, and culture shows the special achievements of human groups. These achievements can also be seen in artifacts. Artifacts mean things made by people. And the core of culture is traditional ideas. These ideas are passed down from history. They also carry values that people hold important. Many researchers and practitioners find culture difficult. So, until here, this was the explanation of that difficult, complex definition. Now, the authors say that some of the researchers, or rather many researchers and practitioners, they find this concept of culture difficult. They call it the C word because it feels mysterious and it is frightening. Some even prefer to avoid using the word culture. If you have even said the concept of culture is not useful, There is also a simple and narrow definition of culture. It is given by Hofstede. It is one of the authors of this chapter, second author. Hofstede defines culture as shared mental software, the collective programming of the mind that distinguishes the members of one group or category of people from another. Culture is like shared mental software. No, explanation of this definition. Culture is like shared mental software. It is the programming of the mind that makes one group different from another. The group can be a nation and the group can be a society. Hofstede says culture can also apply to regions, ethnic groups, jobs, organizations, एज ग्रुप्स और जेंडर्स। कहते हैं ना जी वो जिम्मेदारा कल्चर है, या ये डॉक्टरों का ये कल्चर होता है, डॉक्टरों के कल्चर में ये चीज़ ऐसे चलती है, या उस्तादों का ये कल्चर है, या क्लर्कों का एक कल्चर, इस तरह भी टर्म्स में हर यूज़ होती हैं कभी कभी। तो या कहते हैं कि जी ये जो फलां कौम है, फलां बरादरी है, उसका ये कल्चर है, हाँ पुलिस का कल्चर है, ब्यूरोक्रेट्स का एक कल्चर है, या ये मेमन जो है, मेमन के बारे में कहा जाता है कि वो कारोबार में बहुत तेज है। शेखों का एक कल्चर है ना, बिजनेस के हवाले से, इन्वेस्टमेंट के हवाले से।
और आगे इसका भी जिक्र होता था कि ये जो कल्चर डिफरेंट नेम्स के साथ कल्चर है ना, उनकी फीचर्स समटाइम्स बड़े कॉमन होते हैं, और ये टाइटल्स हैं कल्चर के, ना कि कल्चर की बेसिकली डेफिनेशन ये डिफाइन नहीं करते।
ये उसके एस्पेक्ट्स हैं, डिफरेंट
एस्पेक्ट्स हैं और कॉमन भी हो सकते हैं।
यस,
दोस एस्पेक्ट्स कैन बी कॉमन।
बिल्कुल। एज ग्रुप्स का, जैसे टीनेजर्स का कल्चर हो सकता है, बूढ़ों का एक कल्चर हो सकता है।
The aspects of teenagers can also be in the good also.
जी जी
जी जी। That is the separate exclusive उसके लिए नहीं है।
बल्कि वो कुछ तो कहते हैं कि एक बूढ़ा 100 बच्चों के बराबर होता है। अच्छा, और जेंडर्स, the word culture can also be applied to genders, यानी ये जो हमारे ट्रांसजेंडर्स हैं इनका अपना एक कल्चर है ना, मर्दों का भी एक कल्चर है, कुछ औरतों का भी कोई कल्चर होगा, है तो उस पर भी ये बात हो सकती है। ए कल्चरोलॉजिस्ट may study differences in climate. Culturology, यानी स्टडी ऑफ साइंटिफिक स्टडी ऑफ कल्चर्स, तो उसको जो स्टडी करते हैं उसको कल्चरोलॉजिस्ट कहते हैं। तो रिसर्चर और स्कॉलर ऑफ कल्चर्स may study differences in climate. कल्चरोलॉजी का वर्ड भी यूज होता है, पोलिटिकल कल्चरोलॉजी का भी यूज होता है, इंटरनेशनल पोलिटिकल कल्चरोलॉजी, ये भी टर्म्स यूज होती हैं। पोलिटिकल कल्चरोलॉजिस्ट, ये इसकी भी टर्म यूज होती है। कल को आप में से कोई पोलिटिकल कल्चरोलॉजिस्ट बन सकता है, पोलिटिकल कल्चर्स के ऊपर अगर आप रिसर्च करना शुरू कर देते हैं। अच्छा, अब क्लाइमेट की बात हो रही थी ना, सम ऑफ द कल्चरोलॉजिस्ट्स मे स्टडी climate. How it is linked to the study of culture? Climate itself is usually not seen as part of culture. The researcher studies how climate affects people. How climate affects people. This way, the study of climate becomes a part of the study of culture. It can change their values. Climate can change the values of the people, their beliefs, their behaviors. These can be seen as parts or expressions of culture. Child is a scholar. In 1981, he gave a warning about studying culture. He warned, don't study cultures. Don't study culture. He said we should be careful when comparing organizations in different countries. Differences may look like national culture, but they may not be. The differences may not be the national culture, but they may look like the national culture. Differences could also come from national wealth. They could come from the level of industrialization. As we know, some societies and countries are more industrialized, some are less industrialized, some are minimally industrialized. So it also has some impact on the values and habits of the societies. They could even come from climate. Leong and Van de Witwer in 2008, they talked about two approaches to culture. Two approaches to culture. The first approach is the holistic approach, and the second is the causal approach. It is from causality, causes. So the yes, the holistic approach sees culture as a whole. So it means its parts cannot cause each other. The holistic approach, according to them, various parts of culture do not affect or cause each other. It is a holistic approach of culture. The second is the causal approach. It says one cultural trait can influence or shape another. One aspect of culture can cause another, it can change it. So, cultural researchers must explain if they see culture holistically or causally. Some things outside culture are called external variables, extraneous variables, or exogenous variables. Examples are climate. Climate can be an exogenous variable. It is not within the culture, not a part of the culture, but from outside it can affect the culture. So these variables are called the extraneous variables or exogenous variables. Similarly, geographic location, where a society or country is located, it can also affect their culture, cultural traits and values. Similarly, diseases can affect the culture. So these are various exogenous or extraneous variables which may influence certain cultures. But what about national wealth, type of economy, or level of democracy? Are they extraneous or internal variables? It is difficult to answer.
They can be both. They can be considered in both the views.
Yes, yes, it is one way to answer this question. So, Van de Witwer and Leung in 1997, they said the following are also linked to culture. The GNP, gross national product, it is linked to culture. Education systems and healthcare, they are also linked to culture. So, the question is, do we agree with this view or not? Whether these things are linked to culture or not. And I think lastly, classifications of the concepts of culture. Singlis, Bond, Sharkey, and Lai. These are scholars. They have co-authored a study in 1999. They authored it. They talked about two types of culture. One type is inside individuals. There's culture within us, and Triandus in 1972 called it subjective culture, that is within us. And Hofstede in 2001 called it the software of the human mind. Our software, it is our internal culture. It includes beliefs, values, and patterns of interaction. The other type is outside individuals, outside us. It is the man made environment. It includes institutions, art, and all human creations. Rohner in 1984 talked about two other distinctions in the conceptualization of culture. The first distinction is culture as behaviors versus culture as meanings. Our behaviors, they are also part of the culture. Similarly, culture, it has some, there's some understanding of culture. How do we understand it? Okay, its meanings in our mind. What are the meanings of culture? So it is one distinction. The second distinction is about two groups of scholars, realists and nominalists. Realists say culture has an independent existence. Nominalists say culture is a human made idea. So, it is the end of today's discussion. If you like and you have time, we can have some discussion on it. We can have some comments and questions.
सर एक सवाल पूछना था
जी sure.
कल्चर में और ट्रेडिशन में क्या फर्क है
Culture and tradition. Yes, anyone would like to respond to